Good evening. Welcome to another round of Cat Space. It's been about a good solid week. I'm Kat. This is Buckets. With us, as always, our darling and dear friends, Aaron, Brayden, and Leon. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all?
We're all great. How are you?
And you?
How's everybody?
Evening.
Okay, so tonight's podcast is going to be a fun one because tonight's podcast is all about current trends and what we deem to be current trends. So let's get started. First question is, how has the music industry changed today, say, rather than 50 years ago? Buckets.
The thing is, most of the songs that you get today are basically just rehashes of songs from the 80s because they find a lot of music producers don't want to risk as much. And so they're happy to invest in songs that have already worked in the past and get new singers to sing them. But to find original music, that's really rare. So I think that's one thing that's actually changed, which is originality is out and fake is in.
Ooh, I have to solidly agree. Unfortunately, that will get me in trouble. Music for me, see, I grew up listening to everything and anything. I absolutely love opera. I love classical. I love pop, R&B, hip hop. I love a bit of alternative rock. I love like people like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Elvis Presley, etc. Music then, as Bucket said, originality faded out many moons ago. And now there's music that you either love or love to hate or love to love, or music that you just don't understand. Aaron.
Music has changed, like as you could probably see, like some songs sound similar to each other, and like originality has definitely gone out the window in recent years.
Okay, Brayden, sorry, Brayden.
Here's the thing. I feel like I understand where you're coming from. I think like a lot of people know that you guys are a lot older than me, so there's that.
I feel so young you telling me that.
You have grown up with the rise of technology and electronic music, but I think that technology has actually brought out kind of a new genre of music, hyperpop, and that is by the likes of Charlie XCX, FK Twigs, Shy Girl, etc. And these are just artists that you may never know, but these are artists you should know. And so even though that I do somewhat agree with the fact that originality has some sort of kind of gone out the window, I do think that there is still that kind of unknown. There is still that, people are trying to bend things and really just try different things that have never been done before. So, yeah.
Leon?
Oh, definitely. Music has gone so downhill in the past, the past 20 or so years at least, or maybe 30 years, maybe go back to the 90s when music started really going downhill. I think originality is gone. It's just crap these days, to be honest. I feel sorry for all these people listening in out there that probably like the new music and stuff like that. I don't. I think it's crap. It's just like, and also the explicit lyrics and stuff like that in the songs, they're throwing in explicit lyrics for the sake of throwing in explicit lyrics. That's another thing that I don't like about the music at the moment. They're just throwing in explicits for no reason. But I grew up listening to like the likes of the Beatles. Well, that's an obvious one. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Bee Gees or whatever, ABBA, it's that kind of music. That kind of music actually meant something. The stuff that we're hearing these days is just not worth it. It's just them throwing words together and hopefully something sticks. And in their minds, they actually think it's good. It's not. I wish they'd go back a bit, pad back a bit, because it's just so bad at the moment. It's just not cool. It's not worth me listening to that much at this point in time.
Here's a question I have. Are people dressing more scandalous and more sexualized, and are we seeing old trends make a comeback? Leon?
I don't think well, I see a lot of people are dressing up skanky. That's for bloody sure. That's for sure, man. If you walk down walk down to say, what's that bloody place in Sydney? Not Redburn. I can't remember that joint out there. Anyway,
King's
anyway,
Cross.
yeah, that's it. King's Cross,
How
right?
could you forget that, honestly?
But well, I was just trying to think of the name actually, but a lot of people are just walking around, like half shirts, half shorts, whatever. Well, instead of like full length and stuff like that, I wear full length clothes all the time because I know I'm never going to dress like showing a midriff or anything like that. Apart from that, I'm a male. So look, there's I don't know why people are walking around, wearing jeans that are already torn to shreds, and they buy them from the shops. They're already torn to shreds. Why don't you buy a bloody brand new pair and just tear them to shreds that way? That way you could say you're original. But I don't know. I don't get what this trend is. I mean, why would you want to wear stuff that's already torn and buy it for full price?
Well, I think the whole idea behind it, behind the jeans, is the fact that there were a lot of homeless men and women that were basically on the streets. And the person that thought of the idea to have ripped jeans and also plated jeans did it as a kind of sort of weird respect towards homeless men and women, so not to make them feel
outcasted.
Outcasted. And so that became a trend, and then everyone started doing it, and the idea of old jeans became part of popular culture. It's really weird kind of thing, because that's all you could kind of get kind of thing. Even my jeans are plated kind of thing, but that's where it comes from. For those international viewers that we do actually listen to us, King's Cross is like our version of the red light district, just in case you're wondering. But that's all I have to say about that.
Brayden, do you think people are dressing more sexualized?
Yeah, I mean, of course. And here's the thing: I think a lot of people dressing sexualized, it comes from it comes from feminism, really. It comes from acceptance, it comes from, people just wanting to be comfortable in themselves. And to me, it's just like, I've always grown up thinking that, whatever, like, if someone wants to wear, like, I don't know, a crop top and bikini, I don't know, like these really like kind of scandalous outfits, and like that's their own thing. I see it as like a fashion statement instead of, like everyone's dressing skanky and everyone's dressing so slutty these days. It's like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, if you're a full-grown adult or you're very comfortable in your own body, why not? Like, I just think
Kind of, if you got it,
that's really, yeah. And with old trends coming back, is that referring to the clothing or just in general? Okay. Well, yeah, there is something called the 20-year trend cycle. So things that were popular 20 years ago are coming back into fashion. So if you kind of go on Pinterest or just on social media in general, you see a lot of influencers kind of start really getting into that Y2K kind of early 2000s aesthetic. So yeah, it does happen, and it's very possible.
Now, Aaron, your turn.
What was the question?
Do you think people are dressing more scandalized, more sexualized?
I'd say yes, but I'd agree with Brayden at what he said. Like, it's up to them what they want to wear, really, and like just let everyone be themselves, really. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the next question. I'm going to throw this to our fashionista guru, and he's gonna start this conversation. And by the way, to all our subscribers, new and current viewers, we are now officially on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Yay. Hello Catspace5. So I might actually record this on TikTok, a snippet like 10 seconds, and I'm going to ask, is TikTok the new way of being famous? I'll throw that to our master fashion guru himself, the amazing Braden Harvey.
Okay, you know what? I think in multiple ways, TikTok is the new wave of getting viewers and getting attraction and becoming an influencer. You look at people like the D'Amelio sisters and Addison Rae. You know, Addison got to basically have lunch with the Kardashians and the bloody Jenners. Like, that's a huge achievement. And not just that, you quite literally can just post anything and just get a bunch of views or get famous. And, you know, because that's the algorithm. Their algorithm is so different. It's just like you could scroll on there for hours and hours and hours. And I've said this before, but it's just so true. And anybody and everybody can just do it. So yeah, TikTok is definitely the new way to become famous. So
Well, Aaron, is TikTok the new way to become famous?
I'd say yes, because I'm now on TikTok as well, and I'm quite addicted to it. Yeah, it's just like you can post like just small videos, and you can get like thousands and maybe millions of views on that one video, and yeah, and just like get more followers from like that one video basically.
Leon, is TikTok the new way to become a celebrity, become famous, or get fame instantly through using that social media app?
Oh, definitely is. It definitely is. I like the idea of these kind of social media outlets, these new ones, especially like TikTok. All you need to do is you can come up with like a 5-10 second video clip or whatever, and it takes off. I've seen a lot of those TikToks. They're getting creative. I like the creative creative features that you can use with it. I actually haven't I've got a TikTok account, but I haven't put anything on there yet because I haven't thought of anything creative to do on there yet. At least I don't think so. But anyway, look, I like the idea, especially the creativity, is because it might get picked up and something might happen, like you guys have been saying.
What about you, Lucas? Is TikTok the new way of becoming famous?
It is. And it's kind of good in a way because you don't really need a lot of time to become famous. So unlike, say, Facebook, where you're basically pandering to all of your mates and family and whatever, it might actually take you a bit longer to have more reach on Facebook. YouTube's pretty good, but it might take you maybe, a few years to actually really make it big. But TikTok, on the other hand, you can be an overnight sensation within minutes, because the whole point of TikTok is that everyone's going to see your videos no matter what happens, and you're not going to be held back, unlike what Facebook and YouTube will actually do to you. Because
don't get me started on Facebook. I'm still sending a month in the freaking brig because they can't handle my anti-wokeness.
They can't handle the truth.
Next question. Before it starts counting us down, are reality shows, here's a fun question, are reality shows quickly taking over scripted TV shows? Like, for example, I myself, yes, I'm going to get mocked, but I myself, I'm a huge Keeping Up with the Kardashians fan, being half Armenian, but people like the Armenians, people like, Love Island, Bachelor in Paradise, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, things like that, reality TV shows, are they quickly taking over scripted TV? Because it's more interesting to watch. Yes or no?
I think it is, although I'm not really a fan of the Kardashians. Although I did see one episode where, all three sisters beat each other up over charity. That was pretty funny.
That was old.
But I think yes, they're definitely taking over. The main media, because what is the top shows at the moment? MasterChef, that's one. Lego Masters, that's another.
The Voice.
The Voice, that's another one. Idol, that's another one.
That's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, Dancing with the Stars, that's another one. I mean, these are all shows, none of which are scripted. And if you compared them to shows back in the day, in the 90s, in even the 80s and before, they were all scripted sitcoms. Like, for example, Red Dwarf was a scripted sitcom that I loved. They don't make that anymore, unfortunately.
Things like Full House, Bill Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Neighbours, Home and Away.
Well, I hate Neighbours.
But still, things like that. Brayden?
The thing is, right, I do think that reality TV is taking over. It already has been, and you can thank MTV for that, because they are they're like the pioneers of reality TV. They have The Real World, bloody 16 and Pregnant. Was that the show?
Yes, 16 and Pregnant, Teen Mom.
Yeah. Teen Mom, whatnot, The Hill.
Real World.
Okay, yes. All of those, right? And then you had Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and they really just completely exploded into the stratosphere, right? They are the epitome of reality TV, right? But you look in Australia, right? What do we have? We have Maths, we have Big Brother, we have Love Island. When I look on social media, I don't see a lot of talk about scripted shows. The only scripted show I've seen being talked about quite a lot, to the extent of shows like Married at First Sight and Love Island, is like Euphoria. That's on HBO. That's on a stream service. And so, like, yeah, reality TVs are becoming the norm. They are simply just the show that everyone wants to watch, because it's real. It's so they edit it in such a way that it seems real, but it's very much hyper dramatic and hyper dramatized, to the point where it's like, oh well, I just have to watch the next episode. I can't just sit here and not watch it. So yeah.
Well, actually, definitely. there was a show that I really liked, which was called The Ozarks, and that's on Netflix, and you've got to have Netflix to watch it, obviously. And I absolutely loved that show. But I think the biggest problem with shows like that is that they'll let you binge watch them, but after you binge watch them, you just get bored of those shows, because it takes ages to refilm them and whatever. Whereas the reality shows, they can just go 3, 2, 1, go, and that's it. And they can produce more reality TV shows at a faster rate than, say, scripted shows, where they've got to watch their language and all of that other stuff, and actually get, pay for a bunch of, writers to think up an intelligent story that matches the characters. All of that takes time and money and effort. Whereas reality show, all the greatest action basically happens with
right on cue,
because they basically, it just happens then and there, and it's just so sporadic. It just happens.
What about the thing is, right? Sorry, I know, but I want to bring in the fact that on So Dramatic, there's a podcast, right? It's called So Dramatic by Megan Pistetto. Salami Army hashtag. Okay, hashtag Salami Army. I'm an Italian. I will put respect on that. Okay. So she has previous contestants of Married at First Sight and go onto a podcast, and they said that they would be brought into these boxes, and producers would almost tell them, like, oh, do this or do that, or they would really hype them up about a situation that had already happened. And so when they go into the situation, into the room, then boom, it all happens. Like, it's so quickly done, it's so easily manipulated, because you're in that situation. You're like, the participants are like, oh my God, okay, how do I get camera time? How do I get screen time? Okay, well, I just got to be a psycho bitch. And then smash a wine glass, or throw wine on someone, or I don't know, like, Maybe, I don't know, send around nude photos because you have no empathy.
Actually, it's interesting.
Speaking about a situation, I think we all know.
Maths.
Well,
I think Braden needs to set up an OnlyFans account if he wants to start posting nudes.
it was interesting that you actually did say that, because on MasterChef, what basically happens, a lot of the chefs, of the judges, go up to the contestants and they'll put pressure on the contestants to watch them react. And there's been 100 times that I've seen that show, which would be like, dude, or if you guys want to create good food, all you got to do is just lay off the pressure a bit. But they put on the extra pressure for a reaction, and it does have a reaction, and they get stressed out, and you watch them squirm. But that's all part of the entertainment.
Let's ask Aaron quickly. Are reality TV shows quickly taking over?
Yes, because like as Braden said, they're heavily edited, so like it makes you want to watch like the next episode, and like it's reality TV shows, they don't feel real anymore, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like, yeah.
We are quickly running out of time. Let's ask the last question. We got about 9 minutes something. Okay, so last question. Are we secretly or do we secretly crave more drama, even though it is drama that causes problems in the world? Quickly, yes or no?
Yes, definitely. It's ironic, really, because everyone wants a drama-free life, right? But yet we watch drama all the time on television. It's like we definitely crave it. It's a part of us. So yes, I think secretly we like it, even though we don't want drama in our own lives. It's really strange.
I think, just to put my final 2 sentences, do we secretly crave drama? Of course we do. Things like, for example, maths. Even though I don't watch maths, but I see it on Google Books, I think we crave it because it's funny. We crave it because it's entertaining. We crave it because even though it gives us a big rational headache, at the end of the day, drama is everywhere, and it's juicy and it's entertaining and it's gossip. And I think yes and no. So I'll keep it at that. Braden, quickly, yes or no?
Yes, because I don't know, some people just want to be in the drama. Some people are so bored of their lives they feel the need to even troll. I think there was a video that I watched a long time ago that spoke on reality TV stars that have been on Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and I don't know, maybe even Maths. I think there was a contestant up there, or The Biggest Loser, that they actually had to go through many rounds of therapy and rehab and psychological evaluation, because a lot of people trolled them. Like, a lot of people really attacked them, and just got them to a point where they were in a dark place. And it's very real. Like, even though reality TV is kind of in that middle line of being real and not real, that's the problem. Some people can't see that. And some people will literally go so far.
What about you?
They found so familiar.
What about you, Aaron? Quickly.
Yes, because obviously we don't want to see drama in our own lives, so we basically tune into these TV shows to see drama in other people's lives. Yeah.
What about you, Leon?
Let's just say anybody who says that they don't want any dramas, you're full of that capital SHI, and I think there's a T in there somewhere, because you think that you're kidding yourself, because you don't want to watch the drama. However, you're willing to turn on the TV and watch the news, or watch Home and Away, or in Aaron's case, you're watching either Home and Away or Neighbours, because they're both still popular over there in the UK. I would know. I've been there, to the UK, that is. So yes, that the drama is always popular, even though it is fake, just like reality is fake.
Well, there you have it. I have to say, current trends, to our subscribers and viewers, what do you think of our conversation? What do you deem as a current trend, or what do you deem our current trends. Are they popular? Are they not popular? Let's look at TikTok. Is TikTok the new way of getting famous? Here's one I'll throw at you. Is TikTok the new way of getting famous? And what would you do with your fame? Thank you for joining us tonight. Buckets, Leon, Aaron, and Braden. Thank you to our current subscribers, new and old, to our viewers. We'll be back next week. We've got another one coming up, and that'll be about cinemas. I think we forgot to do that this time around. So I'll be doing a topic on cinema. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next week. Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.